Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another video. I'm very excited because this is the first iteration of a new 6.2 patch special site. As you can see on here, there's very little to really talk about. However, this is the basis of things that will always get updated. So, as you probably saw for 6.1, they had different sections, and for obviously 6.0, in this really fancy website, currently there is only this front page. But honestly, that's more than enough to get most of our juices flowing intellectually as to speculation. So the first thing you'll see is obviously the title of 6.2 is Buried Memory. This has all kinds of iterations towards the storyline. Of course, this will have a huge MSQ conclusion and continuation of that storyline. So we're hotting up towards something even more exciting. So you could read into that as much as you want. We also have the 6.2 raid series, the new tier of Asphodelos. I think the next one is going to be going even deeper into that. And this particular character here, this person is clearly involved in some way. I mean, a lot of people are going to like this character just based on how photogenic he is. I'm pretty sure kind of gives me sort of like young Gandalf sort of vibes for some reason. And of course we have the continuation with the characters. If you've caught up with that, I don't want to spoil anything by talking too much about that, but of course this is just a front page. Apart from the art, we do have a few bullet points. These will be elaborated on with slides and pictures in the future. So in 6.2, if you didn't already know, obviously we've got the new main storyline quests. We've got the new high-end raid, Pandemonium Abyssos. Oh, they actually name it here. Interesting. We had the name before, I just didn't want to spoil that, but it's here. Abyssos is the second tier. We have Island Sanctuary, that's coming in 6.25, if I remember correctly. We've obviously got the Fell Court of Troya, which is a brand new dungeon associated with the MSQ. A new trial, which we have no idea what that is yet. The first variant dungeon and also Criterion dungeons. So we've got the Sildan Subterrane in 6.25. So basically this is like your casual sort of version of this, and then this is the harder stuff, and then it's like even a savage mode of that. This is 4-player difficulty content, up to 4 players. It's described as 1 to 4 players, but I believe savage is done with a team of 4 people pre-made. And yeah, basically, if you don't know what variant and Criterion dungeons are, they're essentially a new form of dungeons that branch out into different locations within them and different storylines depending on your actions and decisions made within. So if you go left instead of right, or if you pull a lever, if you don't pull a lever, stuff like that as a base example. Obviously, we don't know more than that, but that's the way it was pretty much described. That's in 6.25, so again, that will be with Island Sanctuary. It's funny how they put Island Sanctuary without 6.25 written here, but we clearly heard that during the letter from a producer live, so unless they've changed that, we'll see. New Unreal Trial, it's Containment Bay Sit 7, so if you've always wanted to do Sephiroth in a scaled up level 90 situation, this will be your chance to do that. It promises obviously all the usual Sephiroth fun times that you can expect, including the Earthshakers and all sorts of other things. If you've ever done that fight on Extreme before, I'm sure this will bring you straight back nostalgia wise. But of course this is level 90 tuned. Of course, with Unreal Trials mean that there'll be new Faux Hollows rewards, which is usually a mount and other items as well, probably even some glamour. Main scenario revisions, this is talking about even further revisions to the storyline. Previously, as an example of this, Praetorium got turned into a 4-player duty instead of 8-player. And likewise with Mariadenum, that's been changed, and obviously with Porta Praetoria being an Ultima Normal instead of part of Praetorium. So this is going to continue. We're not sure what entirely the revisions might be at this point, but you can expect some more streamlining for a lot of that content towards Heavenswood, I believe. Tatari's Grand Endeavour, this started in 6.1. We were really excited to see where this would go. It's sort of elaborated that will be exploring more of Tatari's past without, spoiling too much into that. It was quite a short introductory quest for that, so I'm hoping that it goes into much further detail. I'm sure they will. Usually they tease stuff and then go into depth later, so hopefully there's some good rewards from that at the end. It's like just a side story quest. Somehow further Hildebrand adventures will be in 6.25, so alongside with our Island Sanctuary and Criterion Dungeons and Variant Dungeons, we're also getting Hildebrand Adventures continuation. If you haven't caught up with this, I would highly recommend it, because the new weapon enhancement quests are the Mandeville weapons in 6.25. If you don't know what this means, essentially this expansion's relic weapons are Mandeville related. It does have a prerequisite of actually being up to date with the Mandeville quest lines. So if you've always thought, oh, I'm not going to do that plus quest, it's too funny, I don't like humor, and for whatever reason you don't like that stuff, it might be a good time to do that if you do want to get the weapons. Of course, they are optional. They are never really like the best weapons in the game, but they are pretty good. They're pretty good, usually relic weapons, so it's usually a nice crutch to lean on if you need help with progression on raids and stuff, and they're usually quite pretty, apart from the resistance weapons, which some of them look like jelly beans stuck to the side of metal forks. But there we go. We also have a new tribe quest. They've dropped the name Beast Tribes recently. I don't know if you realize that, but to be more friendly to the game, their new tribe quest, the Omicrons, which if you've done the final part of 6.0, you will know who the Omicrons are, and indeed the Omega storyline, which was also added recently, a continuation, which was brilliant, highly recommended. The new tribe quest will be in 6.25. It is highly likely that new Omega questline will probably be a prerequisite to unlock this. I would imagine that would be incentivized. So what I would suggest is, if you haven't done that new storyline that starts in Old Charlian as a continuation, you should probably go and do that. Of course, I have no proof of that, and I just would rather people be in a situation where they've been warned that could potentially be a prerequisite. Adventurer Plates, the official release. So up until now, Adventurer Plates have been in a beta sort of format. With the release comes a bunch of new additions and toggles and changes and, pose changes and things. It looks a lot better, and it's easier to assign plates to various things, including actually having PvP ones stay when you actually go into the content, stuff like that. So lots of quality of life changes, as well as some, basis for future expansion of that. Elegant Tomestones of Causality, they're the new tomestones that are replacing Astronomy as the top one. Pretty much everything else is being turned into Astronomy, so your tomes below that, usually you can exchange those for either Poetics or for your Astronomy. Astronomy is going to have no cap on that apart from 2,000 maximum. It won't have a weekly cap of 450. Instead, Causality will have a 450 cap, as you would probably imagine, as we go forward with new tomes. New crafting recipes, those will include armor and weapons. So of course, every time we have this situation where we introduce relic weapons, as well as a new tier, because obviously you can get a weapon from completing a savage tier. You will also have crafted weapons as well. So if you're looking for a best in slot item to help you progress, it's more likely going to be a pentamelded crafted weapon. So if you're a crafter, definitely prepare all of your high-end materials, and you make some big gill on 6.2's release. New mounts, minions, and emotes. This is the thing that's probably the most interesting to me as a minion collector, but we'll have to do videos on all of those things, as you would imagine, and of course fashion accessories. And it says, and more. There is a lot in 6.2 that's not mentioned here, but that pretty much covers the major bullet points of it. 6.2 is scheduled to be one of the biggest patches in this expansion, and it's coming late August. A lot of people are speculating as to the date. There's been no confirmed date at this time, but we are just a little way away from the next part of A Letter from a Producer Live, which covers 6.2 coverage part 2. So we're just on the cusp of August, so not much longer, my friends, that we have to wait. I'm incredibly excited to see this artwork. I think it's fantastic. You'll also notice that there's this upside down chained version. If you look at the character's eyes, that might give you a clue as to who this might be, or some references perhaps. But very exciting stuff. And there's also this character here looking very ominous in the doorway. It is a fantastic raid tier. I do like the storyline, so hopefully they continue with the same peak enjoyment levels that I've enjoyed so far. The music is also exceptional, so shout out to Soken for pumping out those tasty jams every time. I'm very excited. Let me know what you think. If you, obviously most people knew about this information, what you can speculate about this particular character, who you think he might be, especially considering this image down here. Let me know in the comments, speculate away, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. These videos will probably be quite regular when they update the site. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.